My name is James Lehman, and I grew up in Medina, Ohio, and my dad has been an amateur radio operator since before I was born, so technology and electronics has just always been a part of my environment. And in the mid-70s, a family friend brought over an early model Radio Shack TRS-80 computer and set it up in our family room with the black and white TV monitor and the big keyboard and the floppy drives and all of that. And he set it up and started working with it. And as soon as I saw that, I knew that was for me, and I knew that I wanted to learn how to program computers. I've always looked at programming as a means of making art, and so I was immediately attracted to the visual aspects of it with computer graphics development and so forth. And I'm also a musician, so I was interested in wave development and working with audio files and sound cards and things. And when laser technology came along, I realized that I could use audio signals to produce something very visual. The word laser is an acronym for light amplification through stimulated emissions of radiation. And it's an interesting phenomena of physics that Einstein actually predicted that it would happen 30 years before it was ever actually put into practice. It has to do with the electron orbitals around certain atoms or molecules which can be energized and therefore expand out into a higher state of energy. And then when that energy collapses, a photon is emitted. And that photon is going to be of a particular wavelength determined by the material, and that wavelength determines the color of the photon. And if that photon hits an atom that's already in a high energy state, that photon continues to travel on its way, but the collision causes the shell to emit another photon moving in exactly the same direction at exactly the same wavelength. So every time photons pass through the tube from end to end and they make collisions, they double in number and they form into a nice straight tight beam that's collimated photon energy, and that is what we recognize as a laser beam. Lasers produce a kind of light that is unique and unlike any other natural light that you've ever seen, in that it is all of one single wavelength and all of the photons are in phase. So it is the most saturated, pure hue that you're ever going to see. This laser light wouldn't amount to much if it weren't for a means of controlling it. The application that I wrote and the associated technology that goes with it, I've made available for free and in open source. People are using it all over the world to make their own laser shows.